Hello and welcome down onto the tech desk, and in today's video we're going to be looking at these. So this is a pair of Joy-Con for your Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch OLED, and it's the Doyoky Epoch game controller. Relatively new pair of Joy-Con, and I've got hold of these and I've been testing them out for the past couple of weeks, and I've got to say, if I'm ever going to be reaching for a pair of Joy-Con, it's these. Okay, so elephant in the room, we've all got our mobile pads, everyone loves them, I think they're brilliant. However, there's always room for some more Joy-Con, and there's definitely room for these. So much so, I've binned all my other Joy-Con that I use for these for two reasons, which I will talk about in the video. So in this video, we're just going to be talking about we're just going to go over the buttons as we're going to go with the normal. We're just going to look at the sticks. Going to go over more of the uninteresting stuff so we can get to the more juicy bits. Okay, so let's talk about what you get in the box. So you obviously get your controllers, but you also get this centerpiece, and lovely, it charges up. Okay, so you just stick your charging cable in there like that and it will charge. It will say when it's green when it's charged, or if it is charging it will go red. Okay, so if you're going to be using this as a controller, which you can do, you can just use that centerpiece there and get it charging up whilst you're playing. Fantastic. You also get a welcome guide, which just tells you about it. Brilliant, how to use it, fantastic. And you also get a branded USB-C cable. Okay, I don't use these. I have one of those you've just seen, so I just keep these for Sunday best. But this is branded for the bin boxes, the bin box controller from Doyoky. They're pretty standard USB-C cable. Lovely stuff. Okay, so I'm going to keep it on this centerpiece. I will put it on the Switch in a bit, but it's just easier if I go over the controller like this. So pretty standard, asymmetrical, the D-pad, and we'll talk about these in a bit, the home button, screenshot button, plus and minus, and then down here on each of them, so you have them each of these are independent controls for each of the Joy-Con. You have vibration, light, turbo, and mapping for your spare buttons. So again, exactly the same on there. And then we spin it over, and we have two paddles there. And then this is the brilliant bit. This is the best bit about the Joy-Con. If I flip it up to the triggers, we have R and ZR, and we have another button there and there, which I'll talk to you about later. But this is the reason why these Joy-Con are just brilliant. I'll explain in a bit. Okay, so flipping over there. So I wanted to talk to you about the texture as well, because it's all plastic. And again, they've done something that I've talked about in previous videos that I really like, is having a separate material for the bit that you grip on. And this feels like a kind of like a really hard rubber. So this is like plastic, and this is like a hard rubbery type, but it's very grippy, very textured, very grippy. I've said this in my past videos. I wish more companies would do it, and they did it, and I think it's just brilliant. So it's very comfortable in the hand, very grippy, lovely texture. And then you'll see this kind of like white line down here, this line here, and then a line round there. That is for your RGB. Let's get it fired up, so get it connected, get them both connected. Okay, so we're now connected to the Switch, just for the video, and I have it on a rainbow effect. So if I just quickly knock off the lights here, that you can see I'm on this rainbow effect here. If you press the light button, change the lights to a different color, and there's different versions, so you have to do all these different colors. Again, you have to do them independently, and then when you double tap it, you have 4 different modes. You have colorful breathing, you have single color breathing, rainbow, and then off. So that would be the single color breathing, double tap, that's the multicolor breathing, double tap, then the rainbow, and then you double tap again for the rainbow color, for it to go off. Definitely a smart looking Joy-Con with these lights, really like that. And then over here, then if we look at the sticks, so these thumbstick caps, they come off. I haven't got any replacements. I don't know where I'm assuming you can buy replacements for them. I never got any, so they just come off. That comes off on both of them. This one's a longer version than that one. You don't get any choice on that. That's a bit of a bummer. I wish you could. I wish I could have 2 small ones and 2 long ones. So I can have 2 small on there, but you don't get that. You get the longer one there and the shorter one there, or swap them over, entirely up to you. Now let's talk about the D-pad then. So the D-pad, I've been getting on really well with. Okay, so certainly on my 2D games, it's a nice click up, down, left and right, and the texture is nice as well. See, thought has gone into this as well, so it feels kind of grippy. Not like this kind of texture, but a differently plasticky, grippy texture, which is really nice. I'm rubbish at fighting games. I'm sorry, I don't know what it's going to be like with fighting games. I've tried it, I've been rubbish. but I am rubbish, so I'm not really sure. I'd love to need feedback for the 8-way, but for the 4-way, really nice. And if you can see, it doesn't actually go down very fast, so it's nice and clicky. Buttons over here, they feel just regular buttons. If you've tried any third-party Joy-Con or even the regular Joy-Cons, these just feel like buttons. There's no click to them. It's just kind of like a press down with a bit of resistance to them. And again, the thumbstick over here, we'll do a thumbstick test later on. The clicky, it feels okay. It feels pretty hollow, not as solid, not as substantial, but it feels okay. On the bottom, you can charge them. So you can charge them on the Switch, or you can charge them on here. All you're going to do is just going to plug in a USB-C, and it will just charge them in individually. It would have been nice to get a 2-way USB to charge in there to get them two. But really, what's the point of that if you're going to be using that? Because you're going to be charging on there. So the kind of like the idea is if you're having it like this, you can just charge one up. And then the placement of these over on the back is good enough. Yeah, the reason for this button here is I've been reaching over, so my hand kind of naturally goes up, and I've been pressing the button on the top. It's good enough just to rest your finger on there without actually pressing it, and then when you want to do, you kind of actuate it. So there's a nice click to that. So they're in a good enough position just to rest your finger on. Good enough. Let's talk about the brilliant bit. It's these two, M1 and M2 on the top of here. The best way I can describe this is when I'm testing other Joy-Con, I want M1 and M2 on all of my Joy-Con. Right. I'm probably right saying that it's not for everyone, but when I started off, I was a bit like, oh God, I've got to reach over there. After a couple of hours, wow, I was sold 100%. I blooming love this button here. So you're playing, you're pressing your triggers like so, and then you've got this third one up here. It's a bit of a reach over, okay? You've got to reach over to it, but muscle memory, don't worry about it. It is absolutely fantastic for an extra button to have there. If you like paddles, I love paddles. I love mapping other buttons to these buttons. This is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, this bit. Okay, you map that by using this mapping button down here. So you press that map button, you hold that button down, and you press whichever one you want. And it has to be that button onto one of these, that button onto one of these, as with all of them. But I love it. So this bumper here, so the R button there, it has kind of like it's shaped a bit as well. So when you're resting your finger on, it's nice and comfy. Your finger rests on the top one, and on this bottom one as well. Because can you see that? There's a lip to it. There, if I get it on the camera there, see that lip to it? And if we talk about kind of like, so they're digital, there's a nice definite click to them. There's absolutely zero pre-travel and zero post-travel. It is literally just click in. And there's definite feedback for it. These have probably a millimetre, half a millimetre of pre-travel, and then you have the same feeling kind of click to them. Okay, I would say it's in between a normal click and a mechanical click for me. It's not as mechanical as others, yet it's not as soft as others. And then these are exactly the same. But I cannot stress how much I have enjoyed using this M1 and M2. Right, let's get it on the Switch then. I didn't need to pair it up. I literally put it on, and as we saw earlier, it does wake up the Switch. And let's go and just do some very quick testing of the thumbsticks, because I know people like to see that. Let's do the right one first. This is quite a long thumbstick on here, but this is probably the best way I can show you of the dead zones. Okay, so let's start moving it. So it's almost instant. Okay, and then let's move it out to the edge. So we're at the edge. Yeah, there's quite a bit on the edge there. So we're looking at about 2 millimeters on the edge. If we go all the way around, no sticking whatsoever. Couple of millimeters again. They are Hall effect. Won't get drift apparently. Boffin's HQ telling us we're never going to get drift on Hall effect sensors. Okay. And then if we go to this one, the left one, it should be exactly the same. Yeah, look, as soon as I touch it, we're off. Okay, I would say almost zero dead zone in the middle. And then to the edge, again, probably 2mm on the edge, and then if we go around the edge, no sticking anywhere around there. Just a couple of really nice functions. So you have vibration. It's not HD rumble, okay? So it's 0, 50%, 100% or off for the vibrations. Turbo, so you can set turbo so it has it rapidly pressing any of the buttons. Again, turbo's got to be on this side of the Joy-Con and this turbo for this side, so you can set two sides. And as you can already see, I've got with the motion controls there. Okay. Nice and accurate as well. This feels good. As most Joy-Cons, the motions, I've never really had a problem with any of the motions on any of the Joy-Con. This feels good. When you put it on the dock, plenty of room. Absolutely no worries about putting it on the dock whatsoever. So the dock has nice room to breathe, and as you can see, loads of room there. Loads of room there. Exactly the same with a regular dock as well. I've not had any issues putting it on the regular dock either. If I plug it in, let's go down to the Joy-Con menu. There we can see that we're charging up this and the Joy-Con as well. So if I just pop the Joy-Con off and connect it again, you'll see that it's not charging. If I pop it on there, there we go, it starts charging. Okay, it says it's about 2 to 3 hours charging to full. That's about right. I haven't done any testing with the RGB. I haven't noticed any issues with having the RGB on or off. I don't think it wastes any of the battery having the RGB on full. No problems whatsoever with that. Okay, to summarize then, this is a lovely, comfortable pair of Joy-Con. Nice RGB with brilliant extra buttons up the top there. Like I said, most people might have the mobile pads. They're a fantastic Joy-Con. But that doesn't mean there's not room for another pair that brings something new to the table, and this absolutely does it. These are my go-tos now, no two ways about it. I'm getting a case that will fit these, and I'm using these Joy-Con to take away with me. They are my new favourite Joy-Con. Okay, if you've got any questions, let me know down in the comments. I'll leave links down below where you can get hold of this. I'll see if I can get a discount. I'll contact Doyoky to see if I can get a code or something like that, and I'll put it in if I get one. All right then, I hope that's answered all your questions. Really fantastic Joy-Con that have made the channel. A lot of Joy-Con don't. These bad boys have made it so it has. Let me know what you think. Do like, do subscribe to the next video. Bye-bye.